Hello, everybody. How is it going?
Hello.
Hello, good.
I feel like it's been a while.
Started again.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is fun. Like I really need to figure out if we can just do this on OBS or something, because this thing is what's happening? What are we discussing today?
Well, we're finally back to the character spotlights after what would that be? About 7 weeks? 8? Yeah.
At least.
And
What do you call it? A character what? A what?
Character spotlight?
Character spotlight, you say? Who might the character spotlight be?
Well, it's not Kenobi.
No.
Definitely not.
We have his best buddy, Commander Cody.
All right, well let's start the what time we got on here? Good enough. 1 minute. I just want to say right at the beginning, Disney, you are also all powerful and all knowing. I do not own any of these things, Disney. Of course you own it. I just appreciate the opportunity to allow me to use your things. Here we go. CC-224, nicknamed Cody, was a commander in the Grand Army of the Republic. He commanded the 7th Sky Corps and the 212th Attack Battalion. During the Clone Wars, he served as the second command with General Obi-Wan Kenobi. General Kenobi found the commander to be reliable, trustworthy, and loyal, earning Cody the respect of both his Jedi superiors and his fellow clone troopers. Following the Battle of Coruscant, the Jedi High Council deployed Cody to chase down General Grievous and the Separatist Council. His troops overwhelmed the Separatist army while Kenobi fought General Grievous, going on to destroy the cyborg general and effectively ending the Clone Wars. But as the battle continued, Clone Commander received the transmission from Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, who instructed him to execute Order 66. Brainwashed by the secret programming, Cody did what he was commanded and ordered Kenobi's death. Cody turned against his longtime general and friend, but ultimately failed to kill him. Nevertheless, his service continued under the reign of the Galactic Empire by assisting the final enslavement of Kashyyyk. Tonight, we discuss one of the best commanders in the Clone Army, Commander Cody. Join us.
Yeah.
Oh my God, with a double. All right, Commander Cody. I was actually surprised because as famous as Commander Cody is, I was expecting to be a whole lot more than there was about Commander Cody.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. He does have a good bit of details, but it's mostly concentrated in like maybe 2-3 books, and a very select few comics as you'll see too.
Yeah. I think he appeared mostly in the Clone Wars series.
That's what kind of brought him more back. Yeah.
Even then, though, Captain Rex was probably a more popular character, so even then he was kind of on the
Which
back.
is the funny thing, yeah. this new guy came in and he has more time than Cody did.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically most famous for being like the guy in the orange uniform that stood next to Kenobi. Is kind of, and then later he was the most famous, obviously, for the one that tried to kill Kenobi. Yeah. And I always thought it was interesting. I mean, well, I guess we'll get into that, but we can just get into that now. The attempt on Kenobi's life was the weakest attempt that I have ever remember seeing in the Clone Wars, at any of the Clone Wars or any of the comic books. He shot him from really far away in a fast-moving lizard, which don't get me started on this lizard thing, but on a fast-moving lizard. And then was like, yeah, we probably got him. I mean, they went and looked a little bit, but it's like that was all the evidence they needed.
Like, yeah. Well, it would be pretty funny they did that and they just like carpet bombed the lake underneath.
That would have made more sense to get rid of this guy. And it's like, well, he's probably dead. Yeah, we'll leave.
What's funny about that to me, when I was talking about Cody, was that he was presumably the first person that Palpatine called, and he called him directly because as you see during Order 66, most other commanders he just said, "Execute Order 66" into this call, right? He had a lot of guys to go through, so he had to speed up the process.
Right.
But
you know what? I'll go ahead and play it now because I knew it, but when I had the headphones on, I was trying to get the sound right. It still is surprising that he actually says Cody, like he actually says it.
Yeah,
he's directly talking to him, and it's interesting, and he made a distinction to say that, but then they didn't really ever like bring that up in the movie. Like they didn't bring up the fact that he specifically addressed him. So we can watch that real quick. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Tell them to move to the higher levels.
Very good, sir. Oh, by the way, I think you'll be needing this.
Thank you, Cody. Now let's get a move on. We've got a battle to win here.
Yes, sir.
Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, I gotta get it.
Yeah. Fire. And the funny thing is, like, okay, so
he got the order, but everyone else did.
I know, yeah, I know that they got it in their helmet, right? But in other parts, especially in the cartoon, you would kind of hear them like freeze, like they're listening, or they'd even go like this, like they're trying to hear the message they're getting. But in that scene, you didn't really see it. It just like it looks like he got the personal message, turned around and said, "Shoot that damn Jedi out of the sky" or whatever. And they're like,
no,
"Yes, sir." They just
fired. Oh, it's funny. Well, what's funny was that it originally there was no chips involved. It was
I was about to say that goes back to showing how it was. And they all knew that they were going to turn on them eventually. Yeah,
because they had to explain why would these guys who are very buddy with these Jedi and all this over time, why would they suddenly just turn?
I mean, because if you knew the whole time, like you were fighting a war, like when we one day when we invade Canada. And we go there first to be friends, but we know at some point we're going to turn and full invade. Well, one of us would have to go, "What, you dirty Canadians? Like you wait until the day." And they never did that. Like they never broke character. They never let it out. They were always like, "Hey, you're my buddy," until the order was given. Then they attacked them all. Yeah. So it actually made it way darker. And I think since we're talking about that, I wonder how Star Wars would have looked if they full sent that and didn't try to hedge it and make it softer by saying there was a computer chip. If they just said no, they knew from the beginning they were pretending to be their friends because that would make it easier to kill the dirty Jedi. Like I wonder if they had gone through with that
instead of inhibitor chips, it was just simple brainwashing on Kamino. Yeah,
just telling them like you're just
telling them all this stuff.
Like they're just trained.
You know the Jedi aren't good from all our videos.
I just kind of wonder what Star Wars would look like if they didn't do that and just make it about chips instead. They were just highly trained people who probably had a natural dislike of the Jedi because the way they were trained when they were growing up, and a little bit of brainwashing and everything.
Jango being involved in obviously would have helped that too.
That would have been pretty awesome if they had.
Have you guys since we're kind of talking about Order 66? Have you guys read that theory that it's similar to the Roosevelt Executive Order 9066 he gave after Pearl Harbor to put native Japanese people in
put the Japanese people in the camps,
into camps. And I mean Jedi supposedly like samurai, and I don't know if there's a link there. That's all I
mean that's interesting. It also because George did take a lot of political stuff for.
I would say this. I would say probably not, because 1978 George was not the same thing as 2002 George, and I know that he's gone back on a lot of his stuff and was, "Well, I totally meant that from the beginning." No, you didn't. It's clever. It's clever now that you say that. So he might have known because he does know history. So I've heard him talk, so he might have known.
Well, he based a lot the Phantom Menace on the Clinton administration.
He says that afterwards.
He says that.
I don't know if that was always his plan. I question a lot of.
I think people just find parallels in a lot of stuff. Even the first movie, they thought, maybe this kind of mirrors World War II. I don't know. I mean, I just went down a rabbit hole because I was like, well, if there's Order 66, what was Order 65? What was Order? There's actually a few. There was 150.
Order 65, or was it 67? Was the turning on the Chancellor. If I'm mistaken.
Chancellor.
There was turning on the Chancellor, and there was another one that was like, I think it was like full on turn the Republic, like it was full on turn around and
full on
and
like
in the Republic.
Senate is done, yeah.
And then
Which is also something I wish they kind of would go more about. That there were like 150 whatever brainwashing ways to do whatever you needed it to do. Like that would have been interesting if they kind of focused on that. It was weird because I feel like
this
what's that?
This is Dark Times issue 15. Apparently, there's an Order 151 that Palpatine added on, and it's to do with Vader. That if he ever turned on him, that he would get everyone to
because
kill him.
at the time the first line of stormtroopers in his Vader's fist were all the 501st. So
here's where though I wonder about that, and I wonder when somebody writes a comic like that, as cool as that story is, because it was Palpatine pushing to replace them. Like right now, and I know that's not canon. Right now in canon, they're making it seem like they switched off from clone troopers to regular everyday troopers fast. Like they did it within like 2-3 years. So if he had the clone troopers as his back pocket for this beast called Vader, he wouldn't have got rid of them so fast. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense to get rid of them that
it
fast.
makes sense if he just kept it towards, like, obviously Vader wanted to keep the clones on his own, so that was the only group with the clones would be. So they died.
However, it would have been cool though if we find out maybe that comic book takes based on it. The reason why he let the 501st or whatever be there for so long was because he actually had them programmed that if Vader did turn on him, his own personal guard would have killed him. Like that would be pretty awesome. You don't need to steal my identity because you'll get nothing for it. Like, what are you gonna get? Like, I have no money, I have no power. I work for my wife for free. It's that would be futile. He does. Look, I didn't even think about that. He is. Thank God. I have a special amount of skills.
Took you long.
All right. So, what do you want to talk about with him? What is the?
Well, the other thing with Cody I found was so I was looking it up to see what happens with him afterwards. After we mentioned it earlier, that forgot to. So after at least in Legends, after Order 66 and the Fall of the Republic, he went on, to work as still an officer in the Empire, and he went on to train new stormtroopers and different legions, basically. And ultimately, that's about it. He just went on as the rest of his life, and then he died. He retired and died from his accelerated aging. Very simple. And I'm curious to see what they do with him now, because obviously, when that time came, he was still he was a favorite character, but he wasn't as big as he was after the 2008 Clone Wars show. Now with him, we have. Well, so we'll talk about Obi-Wan after as well, but he is going to be in Bad Batch Season 2, and presumably it looks like he's training the Commandos as well.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes.
So when I was looking up to get some information and get some clips and stuff so I can make some of these things, I got tricked. And it was all the scenes that Cody was in for something, right? So I click on it, and I thought they were showing a quick recap of Bad Batch, and it was something that I was trying not to happen because then I was really confused, and it was the preview for the Bad Batch Season 2, and I was purposely avoiding it because I didn't want my blood pressure to rise. And holy but Jesus, is my blood pressure gonna rise when that comes out? Oh, I was sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And in the background, I could hear, "What? We gotta go down there." And I could hear her voice. I was like, oh.
Kachum, can you do a Cody in Omega's voice? Can you hit that Commander Cody?
Cody.
Perfectly done. Perfect.
But yeah. So here's something interesting then for the Obi-Wan. So originally, Cody was actually going to be in the Obi-Wan show, and originally also the movies because they had planned it. And he was actually already going to have been like he had removed his inhibitor chip, and he was on Tatooine with Kenobi helping him. Like he tried searching out for him, and eventually kind of figured it out where he was. And he was like, so when you first see him, it's Kenobi's walking around the streets in Tatooine there, and Cody grabs him, yanks him in an alleyway with a knife to his throat, and you don't realize it's Cody right at first. It's just like a clone, and then he says you got to be more careful. Like you being out and about like this is dangerous. So you're risking not just your life but Luke's. And who's going to be there. So the thing was going to happen was when he goes off to save Leia, Cody would stay, and Cody feels, and Cody be like the most depressed character you ever come across in a show, and to try and make up for all the stuff that's happened, he says he'll protect Luke while he's gone, but his accelerated aging has catched up to him worse. So it's like a time thing, right? He has to get there before Cody dies, so that Luke's not like left undefended, right? But ultimately, the reason they cut Cody, I'm sure they had some other plans going with him. They want to do a Bad Batch or whatever else. But ultimately, the reason they cut him out was they said he wasn't like, who said it? Wasn't a big enough character. He wasn't a big enough important character to include in it.
What?
And that was our old friend said that. So
that sounded like a really good storyline.
Yeah, I was about to say it actually.
Morrison was there already, so it wasn't an issue.
It would actually have me think that's actually makes more sense, because that was one of the illogical things, was that he had to be there no matter what, and he couldn't leave. And then at a drop of a hat, he leaves and leaves him unprotected for however long, while knowing that there are. I mean, it'd be one thing if you left them because the Empire or Dark Jedi or whatever Inquisitors never showed up on the planet. They never within a parsec or something of the area. Yeah, but they're walking around talking to his uncle. Like, it's not like they're not right there and you're like, I gotta go. So that would actually made more sense if he had left him there. Like, it would have made more sense for me for him to be left there and
yeah. I didn't know about the accelerated aging. Like, I think Kenobi had accelerated aging.
He does after this.
The accelerated aging with the twin sons on top of that, dead. I mean, dead on the right.
Right.
They could have done something where they would have said the accelerated aging is catchable since they lived together for a while. Kenobi caught his accelerated aging.
Yeah, that explains why transfusion at some point, and they had.
That's why he ages like 40 years in like 4 years or something. Because. Yeah, it's funny because obviously that you can't plan stuff out that much, and so I do think that what Daddy Lucas had in mind is more than what ended up happening, and it's kind of like the Boba Fett problem, right? They made this character. There's like a throwaway character. They didn't even spend that much time on his uniform. If you actually look at it and get past the cool helmet and the shoulder pads, his pants are like dad jeans, and it's kind of not that thought out. But I feel like they did the same thing with people like Commander Cody, and a lot of them they wanted them all to be exactly the same. All right, and like the movies kind of do a good job of that. They're exactly the same. There happens to be this one guy who has a few lines to talk to Kenobi. You don't really know that much about him. And then they brought the cartoon that was such a big hit where they needed characters. So then they fleshed out some of these characters and gave them their own personality, and it kind of messed up stuff, because it is weird that the cartoon, they're so integral and they're so character driven. And then the movies are based on, they're like, hey, report Kenobi, Cody. Oh, that's where they're going on, General Kenobi. All right, make it so. And they walk off. In the cartoon, they're like, patting each other on the back and having a beer and asking how the kids are and everything. And in the movies, they're kind of like, meh. So it is kind of weird, because it would have been cool to see them in the movies actually get a little bit more, I don't know, screen time instead of just being one, homogenous force. But also being saying I haven't watched, because I think sorry, Daddy, I'm sorry. I think the directing was really bad. Like, people say the acting and stuff was bad in the prequels. I think it's the directing, because there were some good actors in there who weren't doing a good job, and I think that goes to your director. I hate sand; it gets all over the place. But I haven't watched in a while. It is like off-putting and I think it's going to get worse as the years go on, how much CGI they did. And when you see like 3 dozen, because it's been a long time, and I made this clip, I watched a lot of CGI Commander Cody or whoever. I watched a lot of it. And when you see like 4 or 5 of them walking around independent of each other, it's noticeable. And I think it's going to get more noticeable as years go on that that's not a real person. That's clearly a computer generated person walking around. And I didn't realize how noticeable it was until we've gotten kind of used to the TV show. They were using real people. They weren't using CGI clones. And then I saw here and I was kind of like, wow, it's an old movie. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, wow, I think that's going to get more noticeable as the years go on. It's kind of like, wow, that is really CGI right there.
They may go back over it in a little bit.
Well, I don't know if Disney, that's a waste of money, but if he ever gets it back hold of it, dang good well, he's going to have 17 different remakes and special editions. He'll
have at least 100 more clones in this.
I got to say though, sand, it does get in everything. I hate everything. I agree with Anakin.
No, that's funny. But
I will say that Commander Cody for me, I thought was one of the cooler characters because I think they tried hard to make Rex like personable, and Commander Cody was always that guy who was still a soldier. And I thought his armor looked cool. I thought like the orange part of his armor, I thought that looked cool. And of course, he's Kenobi's right hand.
I would say you're not saying it's just because you're a Kenobi.
Yeah, no, I mean that's part of it. Don't get me wrong.
His wingman's also got to be up there too,
But I did like the fact that he was still a soldier. Like they didn't try to make him so personable that it's like, they
more rigid.
I like Rex. Don't get me wrong. You have to like him, but I feel like they were trying really hard to get you to like him. They were telling a lot of stories based around him.
Well, he dug that thing out of his head.
Yeah. Well, because you had Rex, who was more like Anakin, more reckless, more chaotic. And then you have Cody, rigid, but thorough, and all that. The same with Kenobi, right?
Yeah. Well, other than that, he fought in a couple of battles that I mentioned. Was decorated in all the battles. The thing that I've always thought of, another thing. I mean, I guess we don't have to do. I thought we were gonna do like a full clone trooper episode, but I guess we're kind of covering a lot of it just because.
Well, we won't like the issues. Like it's funny. You look at Cody, one of the bigger commanders, and there isn't a lot of information.
There's not. There's not a lot to talk about.
It kind of makes you think how much else is there for the other ones, like Bly, Gree, Fox.
Not gonna be a lot,
So we might have to.
I think we can do Rex, and then I think for the rest of it, we're gonna have to do just like a catch-all episode of just mention them in it.
Wolf, yeah.
But I would say that
minute mentions.
Omega.
No, we're not. We won't talk about that one probably. Not for a while. But I do find it interesting, and I'm sure there's an explanation. There's a book that I haven't read yet, but I would like to know because in some parts of the story that is Star Wars, they got the same training. They're basically the same soldier, and they did that. But clearly, there were some people who showed more aptitude. There were some people who showed more, leadership skills. There's some people who showed more ability to be stealthy or whatever. And it'd be interesting if they ever dived into that, like what they felt caused that. Because like if I'm the creator and I'm trying to make them exactly perfect, if I'm one of the big, tall, lanky people, like ooh, like I would want to know why is it that Commander Cody and Rex clearly are better soldiers than the ones below them. So we made them a commander lieutenant. And when you see the shows, I mean, they're supposed to be stars. So of course they can take out like 20 clankers by themselves, and their guys behind them are just dying left and right. And they're jumping and flying and diving and doing all kinds of crazy maneuvers. It's like I've always wondered how they get to that part where why some of them are obviously so much better than others if they're perfect DNA clones and they're getting the same training, the same everything.
They're the good batch.
All right, so we do have one, and you can kind of explain this after it runs. This is one of the ones you asked me to do.
Was this the?
I watched the whole thing.
Was this from that episode I mentioned?
This is from Slick's part. The
play it
trader.
Oh, he has a trader episode, yes. The one.
Or does he? Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Go to the south exit. What are you gonna do? I'll stay here. Get the power back up. That'll help. Got it. Hey there, Slick. Gun's empty. You know what's funny? Traitor, we knew you'd never take a chance on the exits while they were blocked. I'd stay here to open them myself first. Just like you. Don't do a job till you've guaranteed the best odds, right? You knew I was here. Of course we knew. You think we wouldn't have a plan? I'm not the traitor. You are!
But yeah, no, that was
Or does he? Yeah.
cutting me off
There
like that, eh?
Stupid thing, man. Like I literally had my hands on the thing, so I didn't touch anything, and it still restarted it.
That was from the episode "The Hidden Enemy." Probably one of the better episodes in the earlier seasons. Basically, there's a traitor amongst the clone barracks trying to figure out who it is, and I thought it was really fun. Just like it's showing Cody and Rex. This is like really the first time we see them like together doing something, opposed to just on the battlefield. I thought it was a really fun thing to see, and then them out thinking and showing they are better. There's a reason why they're commander and captain.
Right.
What I thought was interesting, I know Slick is like one of them. Like he was a officer or at least a sergeant or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
his
sergeant.
was. So he's supposed to be better than regular troops. But I did think it was funny so they could have a little bit of drama. He was teetotal whipping their ass through like a good 30 seconds of that. He was doing some MMA and breaking legs and doing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, gentlemen, like what's going on here? Yeah. So that was interesting because that they did. I feel like the Clone Wars tried to do that. Some people were figuring out there was something going on with their head, and some people were figuring out why are we basically slaves to the Jedi and to the Republic? Like it doesn't make sense. Which I always thought was interesting. I always thought it was interesting that they didn't have more of that. Like I don't care how much training you have or how much brainwashing you have. To first off, just be aware that there's hundreds of thousands of people who look just like you, and you'd be okay with that. Like you wake up. And you're 20 years old,
the exact same face as you die next to you, and they had no they disregard it, like no worries. Yeah. And then you're saying to yourself, wait a minute.
So they try to do that by some of them naming themselves, or some of them getting a tattoo, or whatever else. But I do think it's a weird concept.
Who's tattooing them? Who's tattooing them? I want to know that. Is there
one guy? One guy's got his whole side of his face.
Is there one guy in the barracks with a huge goatee and like beard, and he's there just tattooing people? Fully has like sailor tattoos on his whole arm.
And he's got his
whole pin up on his back or something.
And he ripped off the arms off his clone armor, so he has no arms. He's just sitting there with just the chest piece.
No, and then he has he's like, oh, look at this. He takes it out. He's a big pin up of Padme on his back.
So, who is your favorite clone trooper, Kachung? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like Echo.
Yeah, Echo's cool. I like Echo too. Not as much as I used to like Echo, but I like him.
He's an echo of what he used to be. Okay.
But I know. I think Wolf is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't have any of the books, by the way. I have at least one.
Not a single one.
Yeah, but I do have Cody.
Yeah, but that's a cool pop right there. Like I am not a pop person. That's
he even has
that is the coolest part to me is the tiny little
Palpatine hologram. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I always look at stuff like that and you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll get a pop. I'll get that clone Commander Cody. And then I'll watch a YouTube or something, and then I'll see like a Darth Maul, and then I'll see other ones. I'm like, nope, see, that's why I don't get it, because then there's gonna be like 10 other ones I'm gonna talk about.
I love my troopers.
All right, well then you ready to go into his appearances?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the next section of him to talk about. Yeah, because everything else, I mean, yeah, there's lots to talk about. So, anyways.
All right, I have to get this going here. Where Commander Cody. What's going on?
What is going on?
All right.
The slides are at the very top, next to the.
Oh, is it okay? I was looking.
Yeah,
for it.
I organized it because it was like in the middle, so that'd be easier for you to find.
I actually saw something that I have, which if I could find it really quick, I would. But I don't know where it is. I have to look for it. I saw something flash by that I actually own. All right. There we go. Share. All right, so let's go into his appearances.
Alrighty.
I thought we were going to go his appearances. Oh, there we go.
Oh man, classic image.
Nice.
It's funny actually. You don't really ever see him in Phase 1 armor at all. Only ever in that first Clone Wars set. It's rare you see him.
And even the armor he's in, he highly customized it. So.
Oh, he was happy to add a little. What's that thing called? Soul patch to his thing.
his weird shoulder antenna he has. All right, so Bounty Hunter episode.
Palpatine probably told him to put that on himself just so he can get the radio voice.
Just so you know, nobody's watching anyway, but just so you guys know, all the stuff you see behind Ka-Chung on episode 50, we're giving it all away on episode 50. I'm just fine.
We'll leak his address and I'll have to just chase for it.
All right, let's hit it.
So on the left, there's some movie and TV appearances. So these are not the Clone Wars 2008 series, because obviously there's a lot. But he first shows up there in episode 3, and then another movie he was in was the original Clone Wars film that they ended up making before the show. And then obviously after that, there was the Clone Wars 2003, my favorite, that we can't ever show again. Chapter 22 was actually his first appearance as well. And then following that, he is going to be in Bad Batch Season 2. Don't know what episodes or how much of it he's going to be in there. God knows he's just going to be one episode and that's it. He's going to get killed by Omega. And yeah, that's that.
We burn it down at that point that happened.
And then otherwise, Clone Wars, this I found funny. So Clone Wars, he appears in seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He appears in every season except 6, but he appears a lot in season 2. Like, noticeably more than the rest. Which I thought was funny.
Noticeably more than the rest.
But obviously, with the better episodes there are like the Hidden Enemy and Rookies, the ARC Troopers, all the stuff with Mandalore and Obi-Wan. That's always great. And then, the Umbara. He shows up in one episode of the Umbara arc. Otherwise, yeah, he's pretty much shows up throughout most of the series. So he's always there as a constant.
And which season did Order 66 happen?
Season 7.
So, and he's not in that.
No, he is. In season 6, he's not in. Season 7, he's in the Bad Batch episode, as well as he's there with Old Friends Not Forgotten is the one where Obi-Wan's in the hologram talking to Ahsoka about what happened with Dooku and him going to Utapau and all that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I would say the majority of these, though, he's in a split second.
That's the thing. He's not there for a major role.
Yeah.
But the ones he isn't for a major role are all very good.
Howdy, Kenneth. Kenneth just came in.
Oh, hello. And then comic appearances. So Legends, this is interesting. He has his cameo appearances in issue 2 of Revenge of the Sith. It's just a hologram, and he's not named. And then the first full appearance is in issue 3, which is the Order 66 issue. Followed by this one I completely forgot about. Ka-Chung brought it up. Was that the Star Wars / Conan Free Comic Book Day from Dark Horse in 2006 is actually his first cover appearance. And
nice.
It's one of the coolest. It's an amazing cover, as we'll look at in a second. Because I originally had the Clone Wars number 6 as his first cover appearance, but that was obviously the correct one. And then Darth Maul Death Sentence, he's in issues 3 through 4. And that's it for Legends. And then canon, he's only shown up in a couple things. Mostly, there was in Just on a Dathomir, issue 3 as his first canon full appearance. He was in the Tales from Vader's Castle 2. But most notably, he was in the Adventures Clone Wars Battle Tales. Issue 1 was his first canon cover appearance on the wraparound variant. Then he appears in the rest of that. And then not next week, 2 weeks from now, he appears in issue 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi on the cover and in the story. So, and that's a great, amazing cover. So that's gonna be
What's
fun
happening, Mr. Bird? How are you? I will say this. This is just from years and years. I mean, I've been collecting comic books for 72 years. I'm gonna give you a little bit of hint. Go ahead and pick up most of Darth Maul's son, Dathomir, because that appears
issues.
a lot.
Especially it helps that those are technically the first canon of anything.
Yeah.
Even though
Darth
they're
Vader
the only canon stuff.
Yeah, you go ahead and pick those up. You get a chance, and if you get a chance, go and pick up 2 and send me the full.
So there's issue 2. So while Obi-Wan's getting the local drug dealer talking to him, below that you have Cody talking to the council. Not named, just Commander.
Yeah, down there, I assume. Not over the shoulders. So that's a little bit disappointing, but that's okay.
Well, that's the first cameo. First full appearance
okay.
this year. Now it's him there giving off the lightsaber. Now he's over everyone else instead. What I also find funny about that panel is the one clone trooper is just barely peeking over the panel edge. And it didn't do that at any air point.
Oh,
really weird.
This also could be taken way out of context too. If you look at this is questionable stuff going on here. So,
and then you have the famous part.
Don't
ask what the lizard's doing. Yeah.
You know, it is really weird that they felt like that needed to be a communication, right? Like talking to somebody from across space wasn't enough. You have to appear in hologram form. That's kind of weird. It's like FaceTiming when it's unnecessary.
So,
the Clone Wars. I sure wished I could get some Clone Wars. Oh yeah, that is a cool cover. I forgot about that cover.
Yeah, on the left, that's the free comic book day one, and that's the funny thing. That's the only time that ever shows up, that art. That's on the cover, the free comic book day. It wasn't like repurposed anywhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's on the left. Really cool. And on the right, well, funny enough, on the right, it's him in the Phase 1 armor.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
But yeah. So
also, if anybody wants to send me their run of the Clone Wars, that'd also be cool too. I'll take that. Oh.
Yeah, so Darth Maul Death Sentence issue 3 and 4. He basically appears alongside Cody, Kenobi, and helping him with
That's
just
cool.
army fighting. So he's just there, but pretty cool covers here.
Kind of wish he wasn't back there, Savage, because he looks kind of weird. But that's super cool. That's a super cool picture right there.
Mm-hmm. And then this is the first canon appearance with Cody in the bottom there, looking at the map.
That is just awesome.
It's amazing.
Darth Maul, son of Dathomir, had some pretty cool art.
It's still crazy to think to me that this was an arc in the Clone Wars they didn't do, and this is the first time Maul and Dooku ever met each other.
Yeah.
And they never got around to doing that one. Of all the arcs they didn't get to do, that was one of them. And that makes me like shocked. Then you have this one, another Dooku related one. Tales from Vader's Castle. So flashback with Kenobi and Cody together again, as they are. A lot of times as you see Cody, he's mostly just hanging around Kenobi. That's where his appearances come from. But then you have this series, great series here. So Battle Tales.
Yeah, I have a few of these. I don't have all of them, but I got a few of them.
Yeah, so 5 issues. On the cover there, you see he shows up on the A cover next to Kenobi on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Always next to him.
Actually, he's over the shoulder there, but not. Actually, he's over the shoulder for his first canon cover appearance.
I've always liked this cover.
That one's great.
I've always liked it. Yeah. And
then there was a wraparound variant here, which first unmasked. Yeah, he's right in the dead center of the wraparound.
That's okay.
He's right in the crease.
It looks like they're trying to copy your favorite cartoon a little bit. Like they have a
2003,
yeah, a very distinct art
I can
style.
see it.
they're
I can
trying to
see
go
it in
for.
Dooku's beard.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I guess. That's probably what I was looking at actually. Oh, good lord! I still haven't got any of these, and I don't know if I want.
Well, this one comes out in 2 weeks.
It's so good.
So actually, it's pretty good so far. I like the last issue a lot. So issue 3 left is the A cover, awesome cover. On the right's the B cover, pretty good one too. Ken Lashley is the artist.
Noto on the first one.
And fun actually is both. The left one is his phase 2, and then the right one is phase 1.
This is like, okay, I'm killing all of you, and I'm stealing your ladies, Kenobi. This is I've been hiding in the redwood forest for the last dozen.
We've been sieging for 4 months and waiting.
This is a totally different dude.
Actually, the Han Solo Chewbacca one is pretty decent. The art in that is pretty good.
Is it? I'm surprised. I have not even considered it.
I was surprised too.
And then Kachun found this one, which is pretty cool. It was someone did their own sketch variant.
Yeah,
or they're all commission. Sorry, commission.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of that. That's pretty cool.
And funny thing is, like, after I saw that, I was looking them up. I couldn't find any more like commissioned pieces of Cody.
Yeah,
I have this right here. I don't know why I have it, but I have this. This is cool. Yeah,
that's funny.
I went looking when I found it. I was like, damn, I can't find it, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
The gun looks super weird though.
Gun does look super weird, and I think I have him. I think I had him like sitting on the edge of my bookshelf, like sitting down with the gun because the gun is kind of weird how he held it.
Cody on the
pody.
What is this?
That's a so Kachun found most of these. This I guess is
that's the sideshow one, or is it the other one?
Oh god damn it, Kachung.
I don't think
you should lead with sideshow, so I don't get my hopes up because I know they're high dog.
It's not the sideshow one, no.
No, it's Akika Atticus.
Oh yeah, well that one's just as expensive. Okay, good. Okay.
Now
that's super cool. I really like that a lot.
Yeah. It's like a nightlight.
Yeah. I like that we were kids.
Yeah. Order 66. Go kill the pizza in the fridge.
Yeah.
There's the annoying.
Now you have the sideshow one.
Yep.
Is this sideshow or is this hot toy? This is like a hot toy to me.
This is the hot toy sideshow, yeah.
Yeah, this is a hot toy.
Like sideshow's the company, the hot toy is the line. Yeah.
Hasbro. Yeah, Hot Toy is distributed by Sideshow distributes Hot Toys.
Same as Hasbro with Black Series. Yeah.
Golly, that's so
weathered.
cool though.
He's a lot more weathered in that one.
Yeah.
That's so
very
cool
looking. And then my other favorite show. This actually was his first action figure. Was this one here?
I don't have this, and I'd imagine it's very expensive, but I don't have this. I have a lot of those toys from that line. I'm trying to get them all eventually, but I don't have that particular.
Do you like that it says commemorative DVD collection? It's just under it says DVD not included.
DVD not included. That's
seriously?
Star Wars as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. That's what a Star Wars as it gets.
What would it be of? Like what DVD?
It probably would have been the second volume because of the Grievous.
Oh.
And phase 2. Yeah, the phase 2 gives it away. That's hilarious though.
But it doesn't come with it.
No. And then the left one was his first standalone figure outside of that hack.
Why don't I have this?
I saw a lot of those at that Star Wars show, and they're going for like $25.
That's too expensive. I said you should have picked me up one.
I should have picked up you guys each one. And then on the right,
I don't want it in the package though. That's the problem. Is I'm not a package collector, so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a weird looking package.
I ripped some all open.
And on the right one is the Force Awakens line.
I don't have this, and I don't know why. Because Force Awakens, you could have got them for. They were on the pegs for 15 years. I never get that. I never come across that. I guess. Weird. Probably it's because it's 2 characters that weren't from The Force Awakens why it was sold so well.
Right. What the hell?
And then following that, you had the Black Series from the Blue Line, Cody on the left. And on the right was the Archive Collection. Both look very cool. Now, those ones are more pricey than the other one there.
Okay. Listen, I have told myself I'm not going to collect Black Series. I'm going to do everything I can to hold off. If I see one that comes across my thing and it's like $5, I'll pick it up. But I'm not paying $30 for whatever. Now, one of our group has decided he's collecting Black Series. Would you be picking up a Commander Cody Black Series?
I can't stand the packaging on the right one because it looks super weird and like it doesn't work for anything. I want to collect the blue, the original orange and blue line because I like the packaging on that. But because it has a lot of my favorite guys in the blue one, like IG-88's there, Cody's there. So I would get the left one. I wouldn't get the right one though.
Oh, so you're gonna keep him in the packaging?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I ripped the Sons of Guns open, so I don't care.
That's the thing. If I ripped it open, I would not be paying those prices either. Like that's the understandable part, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I was like when you went to that show and you got like, a 20-year-old toy that's in the pack, that's perfectly understandable. But if I'm grabbing one off Walmart, I'll just rip the thing open. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Do I have to see this again? Oh.
A much more detailed look at it.
Yeah.
Man, it's too bad you don't run into him and get that signed because that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can get him, say, Order 66 on it, right?
I get him to sign my Boba Fett and my...
Now, the question is, on the Boba Fett, would you have him sign the most dangerous... I'm just a simple man making my way in the galaxy. Would you have him sign like a Bantha? Would you like him to sign, get me in the back to tank?
Listen, all that stuff you're doing, it runs up the bill. So he would just sign his name and that'd be it. Like you don't want him signing
all of it. He would sign all of it at once in one sentence. No periods, no commas.
All right, so we're into Star Wars news.
Speaking of Black Series, this is fresh. A new comic one they did, and this one is the Boba Fett from the Alpha War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha, like the prelude thing.
That's awesome.
Very cool, I think. And
it's that box that they did, right? They did one with Darth, Maul, and a few other ones.
Yeah,
too.
I have the Royal Guard one I showed you before.
It's like my... I have the prototype. It's white.
Yeah. So are you gonna finish the set?
No, it's the pop.
The pop figure one.
Pop. I thought about painting it, and I was like, I don't know. Just want to keep it maybe white.
Keep it nice and clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that one. And on top of that, I don't know what was going on with them. At the same time, they announced a Hot Toy exclusive of the Arena. Yeah, the same one. It's called the Arena suit. And it's pretty crazy because all the accessories, they got the staff, right?
Kachong, you got to cut down some trees, son. You got a lot of buying to do.
Damn. That's
holy bejeebus.
There's some more pictures of it.
That is pretty awesome, actually.
Wow.
He has the 2 dual blasters. He has the staff.
Other than, of course, price. But if you have the option to buy this or that other one sits on the shelf, and I'm picking this up because that is super cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about something that's hundreds of dollars instead of something that's like
entirely
$20.
This is the ILM mini documentary coming out July 27th. And so you're talking about ILM's beginnings with the first couple Star Wars films. And yeah. So
that's
it's
cool.
So taking like the concept art and how they ended up making the models, how they do all this stuff. Obviously, we've seen that in the past before, but it's they're doing it from a different angle. So yeah.
Look how young Dad was in. Goodness gracious.
Did you just a side note, some other news, did you see that this was released yesterday? It's on the channel Vice.
Oh, Vice. They're on
documentary. And it's a documentary. I heard this from Schultze. it's basically a documentary, and they interview a lot of the actors. It's called Icons,
No,
and it's
Vice been
like
doing a lot
a
of stuff like that,
45-minute documentary. I have to check it out, but it's supposedly a lot of inside stuff, especially with Lucas's ex-wife, who was involved with the editing of the first movie. It's mostly about the first movie, I believe.
Interesting. I will have to look it up here then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen interviews where they're talking about she went from being kind of not talked about to getting credit for like saving the whole franchise from her editing ability. It's kind of weird how that happened like that.
How that goes.
All right.
So we talked about this a bit ago, where they're doing the lightsaber. You picked. It was a not a contest. It was a, what would you call those?
A vote.
Yeah, it was a vote to see which next lightsaber hilt will be at the Dena of Antiquities, Galaxy's Edge, and no surprise there. Caleb Dune, Kanan's lightsaber.
I wouldn't mind having that just because I got personal feels about that with the son.
It's also a really cool design too.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's from the famous Bad Batch, of course, and not Rebel.
New comic book days. That's it with news. Switching over to new comic book day.
Yeah, we got some interesting ones. So obviously you have Bounty Hunters number 25 came out. The left is the A cover. It's the Knights of Ren involved. The middle, poor Suckass and Boss getting jumped on by everyone else. And then on the right,
what's up with the Final Fantasy acts going on here? Come on, Star Wars. We're better than that.
And on the right is the Choose Your Destiny variant with Kylo Ren this time. They had no good way of displaying the saber in the left. So they actually just cut it off.
Man, I remember after seeing the first episode of Kylo Ren and the movies we don't talk about on this channel, I had such high hopes, and I held out hope that he was going to be awesome. And it's one of the more disappointing things about those movies is how they just, I don't know, they just killed any opportunity they could have had to make him a pretty memorable villain, I guess.
Yeah. Now we come to the big one of the day. So issue 1 of Mandalorian came out. Obviously, it's the first full appearance for Mandalorian, Grogu, IG-11, basically everyone that appeared in episode 1 of the show. Because it's what this is it's adapting each of the episodes into comic format. And yeah. It isn't the first cover appearance, but it is the first in-story appearance. And on the left is the A cover, which apparently many stores sold out immediately, online stores as well as in like local brick and mortars. So expect this issue to have probably ridiculous amount of printing runs. So if you don't manage to catch the first, like the A cover, you will eventually get the second printing, third printing.
I'm not worried about it because I know my friend in Canada, he picked me up an extra one because he knows I don't have a comic book store near me. So I'm pretty sure I got one coming.
Was Grogu full appearance or cameo?
Full appearance in this too.
Okay.
And then on the right, you have the action figure variant. I didn't take a look if this was the only action figure he's ever had. I think it is because he would have already been. Yeah, it is the first action figure of him.
Oh yeah, would have to be. I would think, yeah.
Then you have another variant on the left there. That was the
TV show variant.
That was the TV show variant, yes. And then on the right is these are cool. These are the concept art variants. I like
that.
Yeah, where it's the concept art of the show.
So that's IG-11's first cover.
Cover, yeah. I don't like the bottom part that has the Marvel one thing. Now, I don't know if this is actually on the cover. I cut out the bottom part where it's also like a humongous barcode. So I don't know if that's how they printed it. Or the barcode just takes up the whole bottom of the black space.
Probably though. It's probably they're gonna do it.
Which is a shame. The left, you have another fun.
What in God's name is that?
Left, you have another fun variant. I like that. Pretty simple.
It's like the Punisher.
Yeah. And on the right, you have the Pride Month variant. Don't ask me who that character is. I don't know.
Watch out the big boss man stick. Listen. There's a funny thing they do on TikTok, which is kind of annoying, a little bit cringe, but I'm gonna do it here. Tell me you don't actually care about Pride Month without telling me you don't actually care about Pride Month. Look at this nonsense here. What is that? I know we can just make some logos kind of colorful. Get out of here, Marvel.
It's also, July 13th.
Goodness gracious.
And they're a little
okay,
late.
anyways.
So on the left is the 1 in 50 variant. I like that a lot. I was hoping to get it, but no.
Wow.
You didn't get it, I assume?
As you can tell by the tone of my voice.
Correct. We already talked about it too, but yeah.
On the
I don't
right,
mind the one on the right. That looks like an old school
that's the 1 in
video
10
game.
on the right, correct, Kachun?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
What?
That's the 1 in 10 on the right.
1 in 100.
That's a 1 in 100?
Isn't it? I thought so. The 1 in 10 is the movie one with IG-11.
Holy
1 in 100? What kind of crap?
I thought the 1 in 50 was the biggest.
No, I think there's bigger.
1 second. 1 second. Nice.
Oh, look at it.
That's actually a good one. Good job on that one, Chris.
I need to confirm this because that's. I mean, I'm not surprised they would do a 1 in 100, but I didn't realize they did.
Listen, look at him. Look at him. His whole world has been crushed. He thought he was going to get the big dog one. You didn't get it anyway.
That's a lot.
Yes, and I agree with the response, Mr. Masters. You would like those movies. I agree.
Oh, it's a 1 in
Chris
10.
says no, it's a 1 in 10.
That one was a 1 in 25.
There is no 1 in 100, he says.
Okay, good.
And I don't know. For a guy who claims he doesn't care about comic books, hates comic books, never looks at comic books, he's apparently an expert. So we're going to go with it.
He knows his Star Trek.
So that's 1 in 25. Okay. But
they're trying to bring me back in, but I'm doing everything I can to fight it off. That's between that Kenobi one and then that Mandalorian one. I'm gonna get Chris to buy all my comic books, and I'll just focus on Star Wars, and I get back to collecting again. Speaking of which, let's do a quick shout out. I saw somebody sneak on to Instagram. I'm gonna just put it right here.
Oh yeah,
selling some books on Instagram. Explain yourself, sir. You selling books on Instagram now?
Nah, just those. I'm gonna probably pull them off. In a few days, I'll probably pull them all off.
2 days
Why?
worth of posts.
Yeah, the only few people bit, and I'm just trying to, get rid of them. So I'll probably end up throwing some in some AOK boxes in the pile, and then give the rest. I'll probably take it to the LCS and see what I can get store credit.
Mm-hmm. I see no Star Wars.
Walk in with a couple of hundred books and walk out with 1 or 2.
Question is, did you buy all those books from there? That LCS?
No. They've just come from everywhere. There's from my old PC, my collection from 2006 through 2010, our visits to half-price books, just things that I got that I really decided they didn't belong in my collection. I just impulse buy at the time, and you come across good deals, 25 cents or 50-cent books, and then
actually
don't really belong. So money isn't just the only constraint; it's space.
Space is a big one.
Oh, that's
the
truth. No one tells you.
Yeah, to me, the money's been spent, right? Like it's already spent. You can't unspend it. But to me, it's like
part of it.
The hassle of getting rid of it is the major thing. That's just the biggest thing is the hassle of it. And then 2 is the space. Like it just gets to a point where it's like I can't even really like go find what I want to read or enjoy because I'm just overwhelmed with the dollar books and the quarter books and the 50-cent books and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have Chris buy them all from me, and then I'll ship them off in New York. Don't have to look at it again. Well, all right. So that is Commander Cody. Any final things? Any final thoughts? I just want to say I was surprised there wasn't more. Like I was expecting it to be full of lore, full of information, and he was what Commander Cody is, man. Honestly, like it's perfect if you think about it. He was just a soldier. He did his job, kept quiet, stern, did what he was told to do. Even if it was shoot Kenobi without a second thought, just blast his ass on the side of that mountain. I mean, I enjoyed Commander Cody. Obviously, I'm probably a little biased, but I like Commander Cody, and I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
You guys have any thoughts of what you want to do for next week, or we'll figure it out on Monday?
Yeah.
Or Tuesday.
We'll figure it out at some point, you know.
Hey, I just thought of one other piece of news. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Hasbro are coming out with, are they calling it the selfie figure?
I saw that. We'll bring it up next week.
What?
Okay.
Atrocious.
We'll put a pin in that.
So, oh my god, I'm going to go on Google now. I have not heard
We'll
this.
look after the camera closes. But yeah,
What the hell? Okay.
And I can't wait to get a Mr. G with the.
Oh, they don't have enough plastic, my friend. They don't have enough plastic. They would have to charge me triple. And I can say, listen, it does fit in the helmet. I've proved it several times. I got that Rex helmet. It goes right on there. And if you watch me on Twitch, that's actually a thing you can force me to do, is play with that damn Rex helmet on, and it ain't fun because that
I remember it's hilarious.
A little bit of viewing. All right. The one thing I will say is Star Wars deserves everything they get when it comes to the Kenobi series. And they did do the Hasbro Pulse, and they failed because they wanted to make it about Riva, whatever.
At the end of the news that
and if they had, and I totally agree, if they had just said it's because they're all the same, right? Is an Inquisitor blade, I think they probably would have sold out, but they made a point to say that it was that, and I don't know. They failed. They made the lowest amount that you can get. They've never made one that low for a crowdfunding thing.
What was the amount?
I don't remember. I used to know, but I remember thinking, wow, that's really low. That's the lowest one they had done. The only one that's ever failed also is they did a Rancor one. And obviously reason why that one failed, although it was cool, there's about 1,000 Rancor designs out there. And do you really need to spend, $200-300 on a really detailed Rancor one? So that failed as well. This one failed. I think it failed for obvious reasons. Plus, at the same time, I don't know. But they had a chance to make a cool character. They decided not to make it a cool. And then they decided to, obviously irritate the fan base. And again, I don't know what Star Wars does sometimes with their decisions because you're irritating people who make you money. And I don't understand that. That's the weirdest thing about it. It's like the people who make you money are the ones you're irritating, and these nerds are lining up to spend $300-400 on that damn cell barge, and like they're spending like $900. Did you know that thing sells still for like $900? The Razor Crest or whatever. You go on eBay right now, you can buy that thing for like $900.
Nuts.
Wow.
I found
$900.
quickly that the campaign for the Ravo Saber was to sell 5,000 pre-orders. Each pre-order was at $500 a pop. And up to 5 per customer. So I would have been a total of $2.5 million. And they only were able to secure 1,413 when they canceled it.
1,000. It
1,400
won't send a message.
1,400 up here to 5,000.
It should send a message, and it will not. It will not send a message. I guarantee you. I bet you Hasbro wasn't happy. I guarantee that little decision came from the top. And it was probably like, wow, we just wasted our time with this one. 1,000. Only 1,000 people did that. So, but anyways, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you same time next week. Same Star Wars channel, same Star Wars time. That's 1,412 more than should have been ordered. You're not wrong about that.
How many did you order, Kachin? How many did you order?
A minus.
He ordered 5. I will say some of the I thought the race car is cool. I actually thought that the Jabba's barge, selling barge, was awesome. Like I'm not paying $500 for it, but that was awesome, the selling barge. And then I thought that the X-Men one they did with the what the hell is that damn robot called? The X-Men robot. The ones they fight with the X-Men.
Sentinels.
Sentinel, yeah. They had a full size scale Sentinel that you could get. Same thing. It was a Hasbro thing, and I thought that was kind of cool. But,
Like 12 feet
but the
tall.
rest of them have been kind of questionable. I don't know. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.